Having a perfectionist boss can be incredibly stressful. In fact, in surveys, up to 75% of employees say their boss is the most stressful part of their day-to-day at their job. In today's video, I'm going to give you 6 tactics that you can follow to make having a perfectionist boss much less stressful. Let's go. Now, the first thing you need to do if you have a perfectionist boss is you need to study them. The first thing is understanding what matters to them. What is a trigger for them? What are the things they focus in on? What is their working style? It makes sense for you to know this and understand this because if you want to be able to work with your boss, collaborate with your boss, and ultimately get out from under the thumb of your boss because they are perfectionists, you need to understand them and what's important to them. It is a first step in truly getting past this and making your working environment much better. My specific advice here is take note. Take note on what they do. When do they arrive? When do they leave? How do they take notes? What system do they use? Are they a notepad person or are they a OneNote person? Understanding them and how they work is going to allow you to align your habits with their habits, which will ultimately make this much less stressful. Now, my second suggestion here is you need to be punctual. If someone is a perfectionist, one of the easiest things for us to diagnose as right or wrong is on time or off time. So being consistently on time with your deliverables is going to be key. It doesn't matter how good a work you turn in. If you are late, they are not going to be able to overlook it. They are not going to be able to let this go. So if you are someone who struggles with delivering things on time, make sure you give yourself a bit more cushion when it comes to your deliverables so you can consistently deliver when they expect it. Just by doing this, you can eliminate a lot of the hassle you're probably going to encounter if you don't. One of the most important things you can do is being proactive with showing them your progress. If they need to come to you, right? Like if you wait until they come to you and they're like, okay, I need an update on this, they're going to feel like they have to pursue you in order to get information. But if you have a deadline and you know that they're looking for information, if you can provide them with that information before they ask, that is going to be huge. Let them see your efforts, your progress, and your results as you're completing them before they ask for this. This gives you an opportunity to show that you're just as motivated as they are, you care as much as they do, and you're proactive in showing them where you're at. Side tip, this is also a great opportunity to show them how organized you are. If you say, hey, I would like to update you on where I'm at, and you can show them how regimented you are, the system you have, the notes you're using, and just how organized and strategic it is, this is a great way for you to show off what you bring to the table. The fourth tip here is you need to own your own mistakes. It's going to make them incredibly frustrated if when you make a mistake, you don't own up to it. If you make excuses, if you blame someone else, that is going to be incredibly frustrating. Perfectionists want everything a certain way. And if you don't do that, but you don't acknowledge it, it is just going to make them more frustrated. So when you make a mistake, just come clean, apologize, accept it, and move forward. Now, if you want to be able to work with a perfectionist long-term, one of the things that you need to be able to do is embrace their feedback. So when they give you feedback about something that wasn't done in a certain way, you can't buck against that because they are not going to change their mind. A month from now, they're not all of a sudden going to not care about the thing they told you. It's part of who they are. It's part of their being. So when you're given feedback, you need to thank them for the feedback, you need to embrace it, and you need to implement it. Show them you're committed to being better, and they will appreciate that, and they'll start to have more confidence in your ability to adhere to what they're hoping to see. One of the things that can happen when you're working with a perfectionist is they might give you unrealistic deadlines. They ask you to do something, but they give it to you with not enough time to actually complete the task. This is incredibly frustrating, and it might cause you to flip out, overreact, and get into a confrontation. Instead, when they do that, what you want to do is let them know that you have other priorities and offer them realistic trade-offs. Like, okay, I can do that by this date. However, what I was going to be doing in that time was blank. So if you don't mind, if I can do that later, I can prioritize the task you're giving me now. Doing this allows them to understand your workload, which they might not be aware of, but also shows that you're reasonable. You're willing to be flexible to help them achieve their goals. And they will in turn be flexible, understanding, okay, well, yeah, if this is a priority for me, then I guess I better let you move that. Instead of freaking out, missing deadlines, offering reasonable trade-offs is a much better way to approach it. Now, the last thing I want to say here is you have to avoid mistakes. If you make a mistake, they're not going to trust you, which is why I want you to watch this video here. This video here is 5 huge career mistakes that you might be making and how to avoid them. Look, your career is obviously important to you because you're watching this video. So I know you want to avoid mistakes. So I am done here, but I'll see you over there.